Evening, everyone. Thanks very much for coming in. We hope you're all safe and well, and welcome to our interview with PTTP. I usually get tongue-tied when I say that, Sarah and Rosie. Now, we've met Sarah and Rosie before on our channel, but this is the first time they've been with me on Things Network. So, thanks for coming in, girls. It's great to see you again. We had a blast.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
We had an absolute blast the last time. First thing I'm going to ask you is at the end of the last show, you were kind of struggling with the accent, and you did promise me that the next time that we met, that you would have, been practicing, and you would have it sort of perfect. So before we get underway, I want to hear the accent. I've been dying to hear this.
Oh, God. Okay, so what do you say? It's a brobrek moeilijk nek die ken. It's a brobrek nek die nek. It's a brobrek die nek. I can't think. I promise I've been trying to learn. That sounded a bit... It's not at all. It's like drama.
Trying to learn. What's learn? What's that?
Learn.
You've been
Irish. I do sound more Irish.
That was a tad bit. No, that was okay to say. I've been, dying to hear what you came up with, because you did promise before. We practice. I thought, I've got to hear this. But anyway, thanks for that, girls. We'll try again near the end of the show if your accent picked up any.
Rolling the R's.
Roll your R's,
Yeah.
PTTP stands for what?
Portal to the Paranormal.
Yeah, there we go.
Hi, everyone that's joining.
So see, I know I've met you before, but there were plenty of people that haven't met you before. So how did you start out in the paranormal? Whoever wants to go first, jump in. What happened?
Yeah, let you go first. Was this our personal experiences or portal to the paranormal?
What got you into the paranormal for day one? What got you interested in it?
Oh, wow. Well, my son's 17 now, but when he was about 3 months old, I rented a bungalow in West End in Southampton. And it was a brother and sister that rented it out to me. Their mother had died in that bungalow. And I just had my baby, obviously. So we rented it out for a year. And the sun, it was July, the sun was streaming through the windows. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. And yes, I had just come to, but I felt like something was poking me in the arm. And my son's Moses basket was next to me. And there was this woman, and she was as clear as day. Like she was just squatted over the Moses basket. She had these big brown eyes, and she was poking me with her finger. She was reaching over my baby, poking me with her finger. And I woke up. I looked across because I'd just come to. I saw her for a couple of seconds. She was just there looking at me, poking me with her finger, and then she just disappeared. And it was horrifying to look at, but I didn't get the sense that she meant me any harm. And funnily enough, I watched this program, Paranormal Caught on Camera. And I'm half Philippines, and it's traditional in our culture that the ancestors have been known to come back and visit their grandchildren. And I saw something on the thing. I'm thinking, you know what? She had eyes just like mine. They were big and brown. I'm thinking it really does make sense now. Maybe it was one of my ancestors come back to check out my newborn baby. I don't know. Yeah, and then I've been chasing that dragon ever since.
I was going to ask, you've no way of checking back or whatever to find out, if it was.
Well, I had a grandma, but she died in 2006, and Reese was born in 2004. But it might have been a previous relative, it might have been her mum's mum. Could have been.
Keep digging, pardon the pun, keep digging and see it'd be interesting to see if I hate that word interest. See all the time, it's one word I hate is interesting. You know, everything's you know.
Well, I'm
That
quite tempted.
Were you going to
I'm quite tempted to knock on the door like a lunatic and ask them, have they seen any ghosts in that bungalow since I'd moved out? But then his mum, the people that rent it to us, his mum and dad, his mum had died in that bungalow. So I'm thinking, you know what, maybe it could have been her. I don't know. But it was real to me, real as anything.
you don't want to kind of chat the door in case it was one of his relatives and you kind of bring back the memories and he starts crying at the front, stuff like that, you know. And then you're sitting there thinking, what do I do? You know, just kind of walk away or whatever. So what were you doing?
Oh, myself. So I think obviously from a young age, I used to watch horror films on my own. My mum would have let me watch horror films on my own. 3 o'clock in the morning. My mum knew I was going to be a weirdo from the off start. And then I started obviously just experiencing things, just seeing a couple of things. Went on my first ghost hunt at the age of 18. It was a mental asylum on the Isle of Wight. And I caught the bug. It was the paranormal bug. From there till now, I've just been paranormal diehard till I die, basically. It's just been amazing. The stuff that I've captured, the stuff that I've seen, I just love it. It's just amazing. And yeah, I think starting off from a young age, watching something like we were just talking about, some old programs as a young age, I used to thought they were absolutely amazing. But now, like you were just explaining just earlier, there's now bigger and better, so much variety to watch.
Yeah.
I just love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, I started off from a young age seeing different things, but that has carried on out into my now 30s. So and hopefully for the future.
Well, hopefully it does stay with you till, you know, the big day comes, kind of thing, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
So you're a horror film fan as well, same as myself?
Oh, a horror film till I die. Conjuring is my favourite. The first one of The Conjuring, I think, is hands down one of my favourite. Absolutely.
That's based on Ed and Lorraine Warren's case files, isn't it?
Yeah.
They intrigue me, those two. They really do.
Oh, yeah. I've got their books and I read them religiously. I don't have a bath anymore, so I just have to kind of stand at the side in the shower with this book and just read Ed and Lorraine Warren.
New England Paranormal Society, aren't they?
Yeah.
Intrigues me.
Why is it standing in the shower reading a book when you should
just there, just like that, just 5 minutes, getting my paranormal fixing.
It's our dream, isn't it, to do a road trip and go to like Lizzie Borden's house and Emmett-Ville, and then go to the Rhode Island farmhouse and just go make our way up to Salem. That would be the ultimate road trip, just going along that New England strip and going through experiencing all of that.
Get one of those big motorhomes that go.
Get a map and just pinpoint where we want to go, where we're going to visit.
Yep, absolutely.
You watch too many American films, you know, with the horn. You know, I'm not even going to try and do that sound that you just did. You know, I think everybody gets a kind of that one.
Do that.
I forgot to say, everybody wants to say, I've met Rosie and Sarah before, and they're absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
I love it.
In a good way, I mean. You know, I don't mean, you know.
Just completely bonkers.
Oh, I'm serious when it comes down to paranormal investigating, because we're really real. We want it to be a real experience, especially for our guests.
Yeah.
And we put them in the right places and give them the right equipment, show them how to use it all. And so when you go on one of our ghost hunts, it is a real experience. And then at the end, we gather all the evidence, and some of it actually hits it on the nail, doesn't it?
We normally have like 2 groups to 3 groups, depending on how many guests we have, because we take out guests because we hire the locations.
For example, Antwerp Mansion. This Saturday, still places available if you guys are interested, and it's a sleepover.
It's a sleepover. Don't have to worry about Manchester to sleep in. We're sleeping in a haunted building.
Yeah.
Running riot.
Yeah. And it works, doesn't it? We have 10. We've got about 10 investigators. We all have our own equipment. We
all different abilities as well.
Yeah, we got a psychic medium. We got some sensitives with us as well, and we just split them. Say we've got about 20 guests.
We'll split into 2 teams
or 3,
and then you just go around to each location that we have.
Usually have about 3 different locations, don't we?
Yeah, and then we'll have a little wash up at the end, and then try and collaborate with what each team's got, and sometimes you get the same kind of thing throughout the 3 different teams,
and it marries up with the history of the place as well, which is it's such a turn on, isn't it?
It is a turn on.
That's if you can, as you say, split them up. That's what Mark Edgerton does. He does events and tours and what have you. He splits teams out. He splits the people up, but they're not allowed to talk to each other.
No.
They'll do an hour's investigation and then they'll have maybe a 30-minute break. But during the break, they're not allowed to talk to each other.
They're forbidden to talk to each other. Don't fraternise with the enemy.
No.
And then he swaps them round, location-wise. And then after they come together and they, compare each other's findings sort of thing and see if it matches up. But you see the history, well, when that matches up with what you've captured, it is, that gives you an incredible buzz because then you've got something, and it's genuine.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's good for you, but it's good for the people on the events as well, I find, because they've came along, and no doubt they've watched ghost shows, and as you were saying before we went live, ghost shows, and some are set up in that, and maybe they're coming along with this impression of it's going to be a load of crap, it's going to be, but I'm going to go just for a laugh anyway. But if you come along and see that you're actually getting evidence that ties together, then opens it.
What we love is the big macho men that come,
like
the skeptics that come, and then they leave because they've been touched down the leg because they've worn shorts, and that big croissant with those big muscly arms are running out from the tunnels, and I'm like
in their ears saying their name and that,
and I'm like, told you, you've left on the fence, haven't you? He's like, yeah, I'm a believer, I'm coming back. I love it.
That as well, no disrespect to them, but they come in and they're all bravado and something happens and the bravado just disappears out the window. It's like, I kind of compare it now, this is going to sound nuts, but I compare it to, have you ever been abroad, right, and the sand's kind of red hot and you're lying there, and if you want to get down to the sea, you need your flip-flops, but you get these guys that get up, no flip-flops, and they start to walk. I love watching them because 5 or 6 steps and you see them getting faster and faster and faster because it's red hot, but they say, oh no, I walked, and then they realise, wait a minute, know.
Exactly the same.
And they scream like a bunch of girls as well.
Yes.
They see, and they think, and I love sitting there watching them thinking, when are you going to come back out? How are you going to get back to your sun lounger? Because that's So it's kind of like they say, I know it's a big, sounds crazy, but it's kind of like the same sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Absolutely.
And when we have our guests, we do all the experiments. We do the REM pods, we do dowsing rods, crystals,
automatic writing,
Ouija boards,
Gansfield, Estes method.
So they do that a lot. What's the one with the scrying? Yeah. And we played it. We've got a new one as well, haven't we? We've heard of the cut game, haven't you? Well, we like to call it Russian roulette with the paranormal Russian roulette. So say you've got a long tunnel, we'll have them facing the wall with a gap between them, a couple of meters gap between them.
Yeah.
And then we'll start at one end, and it's like giving permission for the spirit to do something to you. So first of all, you'd say, "Spirit, can you do this?" And you clap, and then you'd wait a minute. Wait if you can hear that clap, and then the next person will do it. But then we mess it up a bit. Then we mix it up. Say, "Spirit, can you tap me on my right shoulder?" And then you wait, and then you get the other person to say it. Can you tap me on? And I tell you what, they are crapping their pants.
Yeah, can you walk up behind me and you hear the footsteps?
It's like when it does happen. Oh my God, someone touched me. That was it. That's it. The motion's broken and everyone's freaking out. But you've given that spirit the permission to do that, and it's the tense as well, isn't it?
Yeah, because down in the dark tunnels that we go down, you cannot see that in front of
you.
Fort Whitley and Fort Pembroke that we're going to on the 10th of December. You can't see that in front of you. So if you're in my group, no torches.
Or
use your senses.
We'll stick them in the coal shed on their own.
Yeah.
And they can film themselves, can't they? But it's the experience of being there in the dark, on your own, you know, it could be a ghost in there with you. That's what they come for.
Yeah.
That's the thing I love about investigating, you know. And I was talking to Charlie for the haunted hunt. She's the same. I see if we can do in a basement, a tunnel, whatever it is, and it's pitch black. You do get a buzz because, you know, even though nothing freaks me out, you know, nothing spooks me, but you still get the buzz and not knowing, you know, especially if you can't see the other end of the tunnel, you don't know what's at the end of that tunnel, you know.
No. And there's never the light. There's no light at all.
Nothing, absolutely.
Paranormal investigating is like being on a white knuckle ride, isn't it? It's exciting yet terrifying at the same time.
Thrill-seeking and a buzz. I love it.
It's because you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, you know, we were out at Halloween was we were out on the Saturday at Halloween, and we went to a location. 2 or 3 weeks before that, we'd been at this location, but there's kind of like 2 buildings in the one spot. We went into one building and we got nothing. Absolutely, I think the K2 went off once. I think it blinked. That was it. So we just go over to this other part, just on the way back to the cars, basically. And for some insane reason, we never filmed it. But the K2 was at red constantly.
Wow, love it.
And 4 years, well, I never seen it. The other 4 people was with us. Laura in the chat, she was there with us. Seen what they described as a white figure, a kind of white mist going by, you know, one of the openings, one of the doors, one of the windows. And we never taped it. You know, I don't know why but we went back at Halloween there on the Saturday night, and we were starting to get activity, but then it started raining. So we actually about 15 minutes we had to call it a night because you know, and we thought, right, we'll go to another location. We went to another cut cab where we'd investigated before, had quite a bit of activity. We went there and we got nothing. You know, it was one of these, no doubt, user had that you walk into a location and you can tell, kind of, right, immediately that it's flat.
Yeah. It was just, It's like myself. I went out last week. Like all the team was busy last weekend, so I took 2 of our guests, our regular guests, out, and we went to some haunted woods, and we went to another location that's near where we live as well. So we went to 2, and naturally there was only 3 of us going into them haunted woods. After last time there was about 8 of us. You knew there was something going to go down that night, and the one lad was in front of me. I was in the middle, then the other lad behind. And all 3 of us saw this shadow figure just walk out in front of us. Like, it was like, what are you doing here? Like, what's your business? And I'm thinking, what's your business doing here? I'm come to see you. So the boys, like, they were just like starting to get a little bit on edge. Then the K2 was going off on command from green to amber. Yeah, we were in the middle of the woods. Lucky enough, I know my way around them woods. And the cat ball was going off. We then did some scrying, and his face was changing. He felt this dark figure coming over. You can see this dark figure. And then we moved on to another location, and you can hear the footsteps walking around you. Even I was a little bit, okay, I've got balls of steel, but I was a little bit, 3 of us in that location might have been a little dangerous. Because
you got to think of not only the dead, but the living. You don't know who's lurking about, do you?
Oh, no, the living don't scare me. The living's fine. If it's a dog walking, I might just get a torch in their face. But, it was...
You don't even worry about the living, you know. You just go in with it. But, I mean, we were to Sherwood Forest about a month ago. And I went down overnight filming with GSI, a team for Nottingham. And it's massive.
It is.
I want to go.
Well, I think Robin Hood lived there because it's massive. He couldn't get found, could he, by the sheriff?
Oh, Mary.
You know, but we went in, you know, we met at, I think it was a cricket club, and we met at Wickham or something it was called. We met there and we went in, and it was a good 20 minutes, half an hour walk to where we were actually going, you know. But it was, and we were there for 4 or 5 hours, but it was a brilliant, it was definitely worth the drive down to where we are. And we see the K2 meters going on. I tried the Ouija board for the first time ever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Anything happened?
They did. I was moving. I mean, I've always been not doubtful the Ouija board, but it's something I says obviously that I'd never ever try. But Team GSI, we're quite close with them, and I did promise them if we ever meet up, this was during restrictions. I says, if we ever meet up, I'll do the Ouija board. Never thinking we would actually meet up. No, I'm watching, by the way. If you're watching, Joanne, I'm only kidding. I always wanted to meet up.
Oh, brilliant.
The deal was that John, he's one of the founders, he would drink a can of Iron Brew, right?
Oh, Iron Brew.
Iron Brew. Because he hates. So I said, well, you drink the can of Iron Brew and I'll do the Ouija board. So the bucket got it. He sat there and did it.
That was it. Finger on and off you go.
So he's like, right, I've done the can. You're doing the Ouija. I said, no, but it was, I felt quite calm doing it. I don't know what you're meant to feel, because it was my first time, but, a couple of them were saying, how did you feel doing it? I said, I felt all right doing it, quite calm. But
you didn't show any fear as well, which is good.
Did you make sure that we said goodbye?
I said goodbye at the end of it. It's actually up on Paraflix, GSI and search.
We'll have to have a look onto that.
That's why we were doing. We were filming it with him. So you can see the Ouija board if you go to Paraflix and watch GSI. But I'd do it again. I'll do the Ouija board again.
I was a big fan of Victorian methods, like Don Styler's gym on Halloween. I took a bunch of guests into the Ouija room, and they decided. I said, "Let's do some table tipping," because there was a nice little table there, and we got positive taps for yes, 2 for yes, and 1 for no. It was like someone tapping on the table, and it was rocking and moving. Of course, you got to trust the people that are around the table not to play silly buggers, but it was happening, and it was the best night ever. We got some really intelligent responses.
Yeah, you had some stuff hanging from the ceiling.
It looked like a blob. I thought it was, because we had this discussion, didn't we? Because you had stuff going on in the other room with the cat ball.
I took another guest off into another room, and we were doing stuff in there.
And it was a Kit Kat, an episode with a Kit Kat, and we had a cat ball next to it. And you said, "Do you want to eat the Kit Kat?" And then I saw that blob that was in the Ouija room, just from the scene. I said, "This flipping Slimer." I said, "We got Slimer. He's after the Kit Kat."
Well, before that happened, we were all in one big room, and I saw a shadow figure walk from the windows to the snack table, because it was where our little hub was set up.
Yeah.
And there was a Kit Kat, so I said, "Open up a Kit Kat and offer a Kit Kat if that's what it wants."
They say I offer him a cup of tea.
Yeah. And we popped a cat ball next to the Kit Kat. Next minute, the cat ball on the floor was going off. Then the cat ball next to the Kit Kat was going off, and we were like, "It's munching the Kit Kat." Then you went off and saw the blob.
It's an old military hospital, isn't it? Where they had like
isolation
hospital in Gosport, and they had bodies piled up outside, and
there's meant to be a mass grave,
and it's like it's a gym now, and there's mirrors everywhere. And in the Ouija room, my husband was sat there, and he was doing some calling out, and we got a picture of it, but to watch the video, he can't cut the video down very long, can't post it, but it looks like this big face is coming up against the windows in the Ouija room, and then our boss Dan walks in, and he hasn't got a reflection, but all you can see is like this nose and these big black eyes, a massive face actually.
It's weird. Huge. Like it was really trying to overpower Nanda.
It was peering in through the mirrors. There's something not right about that place.
No,
it's an awesome place. It is, but it's a bit dark, isn't it? I would say something dark.
Well, I got attacked there, not last week, not a couple of weeks ago for our Halloween special, but we'd been there previously. I'm only in the woods, and
Monk's Walk.
Yeah, it's called Monk's Walk, and opens up into the open waters where Portsmouth is, so you can see the Spinnaker Tower and Portsdown Hill, and I can see pirate ships, and then a pirate hanging from a tree, and next minute Sean was feeling a vortex. Next minute, I'm being choked, but it wasn't on the outside, it was on the inside, like barbed wire. Then this metallic taste, and then this ball of sick.
Yeah.
Lucky enough, Jamie was there because he had to pull me off.
Yeah.
really take it out of me, because it hurt my throat for days.
Yeah.
I sound like a Roger, not a Rosie, for a couple of days. So
I spoke to we did an interview with the Ghost of Carmel, Maine, and his name's Kent Brewis, and he said when he was down in his warehouse he had a similar thing. So I don't know if it's common in the paranormal world. If you entertain something that is of a dark spirit, you get a funny taste in your mouth, or you get it. And it happens quite often. People have said that does happen.
Because the ball of sick wasn't. I wasn't sick. It was. I tasted a ball of sick and a metallic taste. It was awful. It was awful.
But she was also being choked, and she's got balls of steel. She doesn't act like that, and you were really frightened, wasn't you?
I was a little. Yeah, it did shake me up. I ain't gonna lie.
But
Sorry, carry on, Rosie.
No, the trouble is, obviously, we kind of ask for it sometimes. I didn't ask to be choked, but you asked to be touched. And you asked to be touched gently. But if something, like you said, if it was a little bit evil, a little bit kind of like, not like demonic, but maybe just, I want to show you what I was feeling.
What I can do.
Or what I can do, is if he was hanging, he was just putting barbed wire in my throat.
And we usually, with our guests, we always start the night with protection. You know, the ball of light going through your body, grounding you, but when we go out and about,
we don't tend
we
to.
should do, but we don't.
I do sometimes in my head, but that place I didn't.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just didn't do it.
No.
Was it stopping me? I don't know. Was I just stupid and didn't do it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I was just stupid and didn't do it.
Always use protection, guys, when you go out paranormal investigating in the woods in the night.
I'll tell you, Sarah, I'm so glad you added the paranormal investigating bit. No, I'm so glad. It's something we've actually just started doing the past maybe couple of months, opening up its investigation and closing it down. But we were saying about the choking feeling. Laura in our team, we were at Kirk one night and she got the feeling that something, she got a sore neck basically. And it turned out the Kirk yard we were in, there was a story, we can't confirm it, but that a woman hanged herself in this Kirk yard.
Wow.
It's not confirmed or anything, but it was just, it's all these, see, that, to me, that's what makes the paranormal exciting as well, because all these little things that happen, you just can't explain. I know there's a lot of skeptics out there that say, no such thing. Once you're dead, you're dead. That's it. You're worm food or whatever. But there's too many things that a lot of people say it's coincidence. I don't believe it's. It's
what is a coincidence?
I don't believe there's that much coincidence in the paranormal, that everything that happens, all the teams, etc., get their evidence, and it's all coincidence.
Yeah.
They did a poll, didn't they? 97% of the population have had a paranormal experience, either as a child or as an adult.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something going on. Got to be something in it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a big fan of gadgets. I've always said many lies, but recently we were doing a series that's going on Patreon, and the location we're doing, we get a lot of response on the K2 meter. I was asking a lot of questions, and the K2 meter would sit, I know some people say, right, well, it's a phone setting it off, or, it's a mobile signal or something. But the K2, for me, it's hard to explain when a K2 will sit there for 10, 15, 20 minutes and not
doing nothing.
And then you say, if there is somebody here, make it go to orange or yellow, and it goes to yellow right away.
Yeah. It's exactly the same as last week when I was out, because yes, I was live, so yes, my internet was on my phone, but I know how far to stand back away from that K2 with my phone, not to interact, and it wasn't doing nothing. It was just sat there. Cat balls were around. It was on the bench. Next minute, we asked if there was a male spirit there. It then started flickering to green. So I took a step back a little bit more just to make sure. I went really, really close to show people how easy my phone is to set it off. Tried to debunk it. So step back. The boys put their phones on flight mode, and they then stood near it. It stopped. Then they asked for the green light to go up to amber, straight up to amber. And it did it twice on command. And I was, and then it just stopped. And I'm thinking, now I'm going to step forward. And it still didn't go off. So what set it off? I don't know.
That's the first investigation we done at that location. We had 18. As I say, it's on. I'm not plugging Patreon. I'm just saying if anybody wants to watch it, it's on Patreon. This first investigation, and we get 18 minutes of intelligent responses.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was sitting on the stairs and the EMF meter was sitting at my feet, and it went to red. So I moved it over a bit. I'd been sitting there 10 or 15 minutes. Nothing happened. I went to red, so you can see me on the film move it. I move it over a wee bit away from me, and it goes to red again. And then just right after that, this woman's whisper. We picked up this woman's sentence, and it took us ages to work it out. It was actually Jim Martin that eventually he took it and broke it down for us. And he came back and he's saying, the woman's asking, is your light better?
Wow.
Oh, awesome.
Been ill then? Has your wife been ill?
Sorry?
You said that, is your wife better?
Is your light better?
Oh, light's better.
Light.
I'm sorry.
I know it's the accent. I'm sorry, you know. Light.
He had the red light in, so he moved it away.
Oh, dearie
Yeah.
And,
Oh, that's awesome.
and as you watch the footage, you move the meter, then the lights up, and then the settings comes. It says in the settings, isn't through an app? That voice is right beside you. It's no through it says it's no through the necrophonic. We had it verified by about 11 different people. Because what I like to do is with this series that we're putting up, I've sent everything away to various people.
Right.
I've not told anything. I've just says, well, here's a photograph, here's a clip, have a look at it and come back. Charlie for the Haunted Hunt, Charlie and Roxy have helped us out.
Yeah.
This as well. They've verified it all. And so I sent away and Jim Martin says, she's asking if your light's better. And he played it back to me. He says, aye, that's what she's saying.
A-class, I love it. That's brilliant.
Evidence.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing better than obviously like capturing something like that, because you can hear their voice, and you know, depending obviously what they're saying, you could either hear the pain in their voice or you can hear the anger in their voice, or just
she was
general
helping
message.
you out, wasn't she?
Yeah.
When we go to Wimmera Manor, there's a place in up in the loft, and we usually get like a K2 and a REM pod, don't we?
Yeah.
And we ask it, or what's the other one that there is? It will go backwards and forwards with intelligent response, and we'll say, can you go to the REM pod, please? Can you move to the K2 or the catball? And it will go backwards and forwards with an intelligent response. And when that happens, it's overwhelming, isn't it? It's so excitable.
It is. I love it when people scream though. When something happens and people scream, and we're like, we're here to do a job. We've asked for it to happen. So, and then obviously it goes quiet for 10 minutes, and then it goes up again. I love it when it ramps up.
On Manor Farm, I had something in my ear go, Sarah. And I ran at my colleague like a dark horse. It was right in my ear roll.
Have you ever had background noise that you can't explain, that you've never heard? When when you play something back and you hear it, you say, well, wait a minute, I never heard that when it happened.
I've caught a couple of EVPs. It's hard because they were just noises, so I didn't catch any, I didn't know whether it was a voice. There was nothing, could never make it out. Now, the job I do, I'm a medical secretary, so when I'm typing, I'm really trained to proper listen out for voices. I've caught a couple of things, but it's nothing worth kind of even pursuing, because it was just a noise. Looking back at the footage, looking back on the lives, there was no sound there and then. What was it? I don't know. It's a couple of bangs. That's about it for me. I haven't never had any voices yet.
Me and Jojo did an EVP session in Don Styler's on Halloween, and she had the EVP in her hand like that, and she says, there was some sort of rustling on there when we asked the question, can you tell us your name? And then she asked, can you tap on this EVP? And then straight after there was tap, 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 tap. And I don't know if you were watching, Jojo, but do you remember that? And as we wound it back, it's like, oh my gosh, you've just asked for them to tap on the EVP, and it did it. And she just had it in the palm of her hand like that, so it wasn't going anywhere. And we played that back a few times, and we all agreed that that was on an intelligent response.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, no, we had a great EVP session in there. Yeah. Yeah.
Where was I?
You was doing some scrying in the other room. Yeah.
So but that's it's the buzz you get. Jojo was watching.
Yeah, she just said. I was telling them about the EVP session, Jojo.
It was actually Jennifer for your American team. With that first investigation she was on, she says, "Yous have got no idea how much yous have caught on that first investigation." Jennifer's more audio than video.
Right.
So she says to me, "Turn your video off, and just put headphones on." So I lay, I don't know, till quite a few nights to 3, 4 in the morning with the headphones on and no watching it. And it was amazing what I was hearing in the background that none of us were reacting to. But you can quite clearly hear there's something in this place. It's about 5 miles from the nearest village. It was an estate. So that, and there's no cars, there's no people, there's nothing. And it's when you're listening back to it, as you say, what was that? And you get back, and you get back. And the buzz gets bigger and bigger every time you listen to it. And you want to, you want to wake somebody up at 4 in the morning and tell them, look what I've got, look what you want to chap somebody's door or something.
Oh, I did that with a photo one time. I moved into, I don't know if you've ever heard of Marwell Zoo. It's in Southampton, a lovely little zoo. I used to live at the back of there, and I just took some pictures of naturally moved in, look at my new flat, and I got bored 6 months later at 3 o'clock in the morning, as you do. What do you do at 3 o'clock in the morning? You put your photos into folders. And I saw this one picture and I went, oh my God, another picture of my head that's cut off. I have to send you it so I can show you it. Is quite creepy. What you can see is a face and some multiple faces and a dog or a monkey all in one photo. And I showed my ex at the time and I went, night, and off I went. And that was it. I saw and now I feel something woke me up to look at that photo. Because I didn't notice it when I took the photo 6 months before. So, but yeah, I'll send you that photo and I get your opinion on it because it's a little creepy. Yeah. But the buzz of it is amazing.
It is kind of creepy. I've got a couple of photos, but one particular photo was taken on that estate, just in a lane, but it's a road. It's not a road, it's a lane. And I was just taking photos, and it was when I look back in the photos, you can see quite clearly a little boy's face, about halfway up, was just kind of floating in mid-air, for want of a better word.
I love it.
And there's no, it's trees and stuff all around about, so there's nothing, and it's a dull day, so there's nothing that could. And I'd never noticed it the first few times I looked at the photograph, and then I looked at it again. And as you say, Rosie, something kind of makes you look and think, well, what's that? I never noticed that before.
Yeah, no. And I'd shown these pictures to people when as I moved in, to people where I worked. I never noticed it. So was it there all along?
Yeah.
Did it change? I don't know. It must have happened there and then. But yeah, 6 months later, something made me wake up and do that. And then next minute I was asleep. Whereas my ex was wide awake all night after seeing it.
Oh yeah.
Good for him.
I'm up and you're right. Good night,
Yeah. Off I rolled.
Oh, that night that something grabbed my feet and then grabbed my husband's foot. I was a guest this is before I started paranormal investigating. I was a guest at Manor Farm, and I didn't tell it to stay. Usually I tell our guests now, before you leave a location, always tell the spirit people to stay. And it was like a small hand, and it grabbed my husband's foot first at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then it grabbed my foot, and I thought it was one of the children. And we turned the lights on and looked at the bottom of the bed, and nobody was there. Went and had a look at the children, they were all fast asleep. And then Gino, who was about 4 or 5 at the time, he was saying, "Mummy, it keeps saying my name." And then my 17-year-old was saying I had to put a crucifix in his bedroom, kept getting woken up with a punch in the stomach, and then these weird voices just like whispering in the corner of the room. I had to go around the whole house. I was putting the one, "Get the hell out of my house. This is my house. You are not welcome in my house." and it just stopped. But we was getting these weird little drops of like rain or water would just drop on us.
Yeah.
And we was talking to Sarah Lemos, and she said that it was ectoplasm or something like that, like the spirit stirring up energy in the house. And these random little drops would just, it doesn't matter if it was cold or hot, it would just drip on our body.
Yeah.
And we'd all notice it. And you did the Ouija board once, didn't you?
I did.
In where was it? It was on the old site where Cross was?
Where Jamie used to live. Yeah. So Jamie,
what was there? Oh, it was a boatyard, wasn't it?
Oh, pass. What was there?
Thinking about it.
It's in Southampton. Yeah. One of our paranormal investigators, Jamie, he was moving out, so he was like, "Sod it, let's do a Ouija board in there. I'm moving out next week." So we did it, and it was fine. It was moving a little bit. We didn't really get much.
We got a man. And he worked there. I think it was called Horny Cross. It was like a boat building back in the 80s.
It's right next to the docks, basically, of Southampton. And next minute, there's a corner sofa, and I'm sat in the corner, and I have my left hand down by the side of my knee. And next minute, I just felt this droplet on my hand, but there was like there was no water. No one was near me to like if they had like spoke and spat at the same time. Like, it smells disgusting, but there was no one that was near me that could have done that. So how did the water droplet get on? And it was a proper droplet, drop on my hand, like a raindrop just dropped on there, and it was just gone. I just wiped it off and went, "See ya." Going home now.
Now let a spirit loose in your house.
Yeah, you stay here.
That was Emma Tibble Carby was saying that Vasper. Your mum, Vasper. I can't pronounce
it. Thornycroft.
Oh yeah, it was Vesper Thornycroft. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mum.
And lots of people. I don't know. It was really old, wasn't it? Hundreds of people worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thornycroft.
Thornycroft. Yeah.
But as you were saying, Sarah, about the bed, we get that in here. We've done a couple of investigations in here, and as far as we can tell, there's two spirits in here, and it happens all the time. I just ignore it now. But you know, if you're sitting in a bed and somebody else gets on it, or a kid will get on it, you know, and you can feel the mattress going down.
Yeah.
You know, and we've got two cats, and a lot of time I've been sitting in the bed and I felt the mattress going down, and I've turned around to be there. But the cat's under there, there's nobody there, but you definitely feel the mattress get depressed, you know, depressed.
Yeah, someone's just going to in bed.
Yeah.
And you turn around and think, there's no, but you know, it doesn't, it's happened that often. Every couple of days, basically. So if somebody's sitting down beside you, you know, I can't explain that, you know. No. And again, that's what makes the paranormal so fascinating. It's the amount of things that we cannot explain.
Yes, I love the unexplained. It's a very annoying, but very like satisfying. Like this fog, and you can't explain what has just happened or what's there, who's there.
But I do believe you need a safe space as well, because when I come home, that I don't.
The shower's my safe space.
You don't want to be haunted by something when you come home. So it's always best to tell it to stay where it wants to be. And I don't want to be. I want to get to sleep at night. Sometimes I'm so tired though. I'm thinking, I'll just shut up and let me go to sleep.
We don't get bothered with it. It's never. I've seen it twice. A very, very quick glance going by the bedroom door. You know, it was like a shadow. The second time it was like a kind of male figure, but it was like that, and it was gone. A millisecond, it was gone.
Yeah.
You know? It just to bother us. You know,
we don't bother you. Then
no, it's like when I first moved into where me and my partner live now. I had this dream that this old lady with this white curly hair, a pink cardigan and a little pinny on, and she was crawling up the stairs because we lived in the first floor of the flat, and she was crawling up the stairs, and I didn't understand why. To then find out that the building actually used to be like a little mini care home. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, well, that will now explain the old lady in my dream. So I decided to do an investigation on my flat, because why wouldn't I? And I got a couple of names coming through on the spirit box, because we've still got the old bell box next to our main front door, and it's still got a couple of the names on which came through on the spirit box. Ooh. And for that to happen, I can't manipulate a spirit box, and I can't reach up on like next to the ceiling to change them names. So yeah, that was awesome. So,
And as you say, you can't manipulate a spirit box. I know a lot of them have got work banks and stuff in them, but when a name or a sentence comes out,
yes,
that's quite clear, and especially if it's relevant to where you are or what you're doing, you can't debunk that.
No. I've been trying to do, because we're on the ancestry, so I'm trying to do a lot of history about it, because it clearly used to be 2 houses before. Obviously, it got merged into one big building. Now it's into 4 flats. Because at the same time, I had a little family come through. So I had a mum, dad, and then the son and a dog. I think they said it was a dog that come through. So I was trying to ask, was they the previous owners of the house before it was a care home?
Yeah.
So I've been trying to do a lot of ancestry. I'm not getting too much luck, but
so if you woke up with them sat on the end of your bed like Huey in it, you'd be all right with that.
I'd be okay, but Andrea would be running a mile.
Andrea
would be coming here because we're sister-in-laws. So
you'd be keeping in.
Yeah, my partner would be coming to his brother's here, and I'd be like, "Hi." I'll probably be a little bit nervous, but I'll probably faint for a little bit and probably go, "Right, cup of tea. Who fancies a cuppa? Vicky."
You want a Kit Kat? You know?
Yes, take a break.
you want a
Kit Kat in.
I mean, that's what gets me about, no disrespect to them, some of the ghost shows that are on TV, they'll go in. There was one that was famous for it, but, I'm not going to say any names. They go in ghost hunting and they hear a noise and they'd all run out the door. Screaming.
To do it. This is what you asked for.
There's a stampede for the door as soon as they heard what they thought it was a scream or a whisper, right? We're off. Right?
I do love Jack Osborne, but he does sort of get really scared. And sometimes he'll sit there and then something will happen and then he'll peg it and I'll get back in there, you little get in there. No, that's what you're there to do. Go on, Jack, get in there.
Well, I went to one of the locations near here.
Yeah.
You were doing the dowsing rods.
Yeah.
And I had the spirit box and
they started spinning, didn't they?
And the spirit box went in this really creepy voice that went, "Leave." And you were like, "No, goodbye."
And then I spinning and you were like, "Get back out there, Sarah. You ain't really do this." I can't do it.
It was just us 2, and we were just because we were only allowed to meet one other person outside.
Yeah, we were,
because obviously the COVID, and where we had a bubble, we went out.
With that creepy voice.
It went.
It was awful.
It is on the Facebook Live as well.
Yeah.
I love it when we've been told to leave. We've done an investigation maybe. If Laura Sarah's in the chat, maybe about a month and a half ago, a local yard, and it was Laura's husband was there, and we put the headphones on him with the necrophonic cap on, and we're getting told to F off, F you. Sarah get called a two-faced bitch.
Oh,
Clear as a bell, It was really, we've never had that before. Or, we've been on locations, we've been told, get out, leave, that kind of thing. But this one particular night, whoever it wasn't a very nice person. It was F you and F off and you're a two-faced bitch and, But we didn't run away or anything, we thought, no, we're staying.
Yeah.
No.
It's like with the location that we're actually on about. It's a mausoleum near where we live. Well, it's where you live. I'm 10 minutes down the road, but it's an amazing location. And my partner did some Gansfield there, so I was on the outside with the Facebook Live. He's never been there before. He's only been during the day, so never investigated it. And he was my guinea pig for the night because, again, it was back when we were allowed out for our exercise walk. So that was our exercise walk into the mausoleum and doing a ghost hunt quickly. And he got Gansfield up, sat on the bench. He said the name Amy. I then felt a presence behind me. So I turned round and he then went, "Fuck, like you've been caught." And I'm thinking, did I just catch you behind me? And he went, hit over the head. And I was like thinking, he's going to hit me over the head. But he sat in front of me. So whatever was behind me he was channeling through the Gansfield,
Yeah.
and I was sensing it behind me. So we were really working well together. He won't go back.
No, he won't.
He won't go back because he just thinks it's something evil there, and that's where we had to leave and the dowsing rods.
They're very territorial, aren't they, spirits?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see, this is something I've been asked as well before, because, you know, the spirits stay in the one place, do they move about? I've always been under the impression that they are kind of territorial. They'll stay in a place that they were most. I might be wrong. Again, this is just my opinion. That they'll stay in a place that they were most happy, or had a place that had a significant meaning to them.
Yeah.
In physical life, you know. But I mean, like in the case of Anne Boleyn, she's been seen in about 7 or 8 different locations. You know.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You know, like Tower of London, Hampton Court, Hever Castle, Salisbury Hall, you know, various places. But then I was talking to Mark Edgerton, and I was saying about, you know, how can a spirit be all over the place? He says, well, what sometimes happens is, if you get like Hever Castle, Tower of London, Hampton Court Palace, they might be haunted by a female spirit, but people might just relate it to Anne Boleyn.
Anne Boleyn, yeah.
You know, so it might not be Anne Boleyn that's haunting all these places, but people are mistaking it.
Yeah.
Also, people that study astro projection, they say as long as you've been there in your body, if you've been there, you can go there. So maybe it's the same in your spirit body, because you're leaving your body in astro projection. So in your spirit mind, maybe if you've been there and you're in a happy place, you can just dart about and go places. Because you could have a dead relative in one place, and then maybe your sister's seen them up north somewhere. I mean, there's been episodes where people have seen spirits that are the same person, but in different locations. Maybe.
You know, I mean, I think, you know, spirits can be territorial, but to me, I think they do have the freedom to go wherever they want, basically, you know.
Yeah.
Personally, when I pop it, I'm going to Graceland.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's where my mum will go, Graceland as well. Till me, you're there.
You don't need a plane or nothing, but I'm off to Graceland, and then it's Alcatraz. You know,
that's where I'm going. I'll see you there.
Are we joining forces with this American road trip then?
Yeah.
Are you coming halves in the camper van with us? I want to see your pinpoints as well, where you're going.
There's quite a few places in America I'd go, you know, Graceland, Alcatraz, Cecil Hotel, places where
Love to go there.
Yeah.
Hinsdale House.
Yeah.
Are you going to Bosworth? Have you seen that advertised?
No, I've not seen it advertised, no.
Oh, the
Festival of the Unexplained. Yeah, we've gone for the Saturday, haven't we? It is a whole weekend.
Yeah, our partners have bought us our early Christmas present. They bought us tickets for the Saturday. So Patty's going to be there as well.
Yeah.
A lot of the American people are coming over. We've got Barry Guy there as well.
Daniel Class,
Miranda Young, the Raff
Chasers,
Patty.
Honestly, you've not seen it. Oh my God, we've got a B&B, haven't we?
Yeah.
It is on the Friday. It starts on the 13th of March. The next year. The 11th. Yeah, but the 11th. What are we on? The 12th then? Is that
we're on the 12th. Yeah.
So it starts on the 11th, Friday the 11th. And where is it? It's in up north. So it's up Europe.
Up north. Yeah.
Have a quick Google.
She's going to have a quick Google. You need to come.
Okay, some time ago that she was over next year, but she didn't say where. She says, I'm coming over to the UK, all being well, around March time.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's the Festival of the Unexplained. I can't wait to go.
It's in Bosworth Hall. So Bosworth Hall
is Birmingham.
Is in Birmingham. There it is. I'll send it to you. On the 11th of March, starts at 10 to the 13th of March, and
finishes at 6.
Yeah, finishes at 6.
Yeah, so like we said, there's going to be so many people there. Patty, Daniel Class, Miranda Young, Raph Chasers, Barry Guy.
There'll be stalls,
entertainment.
We're hoping to get Miranda Young to come back with us, aren't we?
Yeah.
And do an investigation. They're spending a couple of days there, aren't they?
Yeah, she said she might see her itinerary if she can come down and
see if Danny wants to come out for a beer with us. Yeah.
I'm going to, as I say, I was talking to Patty ages ago, and she just said, I'm coming over to the UK around about March time, all being well.
Yeah.
But she didn't say where she was, so that's where she's going.
That's where she's going. Now you know.
Now you know. And the whole weekend's pretty expensive, isn't it? But one night was 70 something. So
I think it's £75 each for one night. And I think the whole weekend is like £295. But that's you staying in Bosworth as well.
So what time does our event start in the morning? Is it? I think it's
10 till 6, I think. And then you've got evening, like an evening do as well.
Right. I'll mail Patty Monday or Tuesday. I know she's out and about this weekend, but I'll mail her Monday.
Maybe she'll get you some sort of like discount tickets, and you could take 2 guests with you. Maybe we're getting there the Friday, so we'll be in town on the Friday. Yeah, we'll go out on the Raz the night before.
I do, right.
We need that. Not that we need alcohol.
Nothing like being subtle, is there?
Couple of iron brews and whiskey. Yeah. We'll see the rat chasers and then see if they want to come out and we'll show them the town and that. Yeah, we'll give them a message.
We'll show them the town.
Iron brew. I'm teetotal. I don't drink, but I'll have the iron brew. You can have the whiskey. And see if anything can be done. I'm not going to say much. See if anything can be done about it. So,
awesome.
Portal to the Paranormal. We've been running, and I've still not asked you. Your Portal to the Paranormal, how did that start out?
Well, so we were
for a team before, didn't we?
Yeah, and we just decided to break away. It was obviously because of COVID. You weren't obviously going out as much. We couldn't do anything. So the big bearded boss man, Dan, he decided to create Portal to the Paranormal. One morning we all woke up to all these messages going,
let's do it.
You've been added to as an admin, you're an admin, you're an admin. And we were like, okay, we're going for it. Let's do it. So it started in January.
We've come a long way, really. The website's really taken off. The tickets they're flying out because it's a big thing now, isn't it? Everyone wants to, with all the TV shows that are on, all the general public, they want to experience this and they want to know what's out there. They've all had experiences in the paranormal. Some, well, not all of them, but some people are skeptical, and it's a fun yet terrifying night out for them, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is. And going all over the UK.
Yeah, we're up and down the country. So we're so genuine. We some of our guests have even said that we're genuine, and I always say to my guests, if you're in my team, excuse the pun, but I'd rather you have a dead night than you think that I've set something up. Because yes, I know your pain, but I'd rather nothing happen to show you that we're not faking it. And when stuff actually, and normally like you love this one when you're just chatting amongst yourself and then it goes boom.
Well, Merley House was a prime example. I was down at the bottom of the staircase talking to these 2 ladies who were doing some glass work, and then we were sharing experiences like our ghost stories. And I says, funnily enough, I says, when you're just talking, they're generally, I says, the spirits just seem to interact. And with that, Dan, our boss man, comes running around the corner. He says, Sarah, you need to come out here.
He's watching the live feed.
Watching the live feed. And what had happened, we've got it on our website, is like this, from the painting at the top of the stairs, it just morphed out like a big ball. And
it just rolled
down, getting bigger and bigger, and rolled down the stairs, getting bigger and bigger.
Next to you guys.
Next to us, that were at the bottom of the stairs. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you not find that, always, you go investigating, you're asking all the questions and what we, do you not find that spirit is more likely to appear or, do something if you are kind of relaxed and not expecting it and you're not really focusing? You could be standing in a group having a cigarette, taking a 10-minute time out, and that's when you could get something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
definitely.
we always tell our guests, you know, don't go in expecting 360s head spinning and people crawling up the raw walls and hanging off of the chandeliers.
Sometimes that does happen, but not very often.
You don't want us two doing that, running up the walls. But yeah, we just say relax and just let it naturally happen.
Yeah.
And it will happen. They
Yeah.
will deliver.
That's okay. I've watched quite a few, again, ghost shows, no disrespect, but and they go and they're really serious, and you know, it's like SAS stuff, and you know, it's just no smiles, no banter, as we say. I think you have that word down there as well. Don't use banter. There's no banter. There's no light-heartedness. It's just all serious stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, like this.
Oh, you know.
Move that cat ball. Change that red light. Whereas we're like, change the cat ball. So, yeah, our energy and all of our team's energy.
And the guests' energy as well.
Yes.
Yeah, they feed off the fear. They feed off the excitement. And just, you know, getting everyone to share their ghost stories and their experiences in the beginning. It sort of rallies the spirits up.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you was a spirit and you'd be like, oh, not again. Oh, you want me to move the cat ball?
They're not performing
monkeys at the end of the day.
You give them entertainment, they're going to entertain you.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's face it, I've said in many lives, I think I said it to you two ladies before, my opinion is when your spirit, the only thing that's different between them and us is a physical body.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. Everything else you take with you, you know, personality, everything. So, you know, in this life, if somebody's asking you the same question every single, you know, if a different person's asking you the same question every single night of the week, because let's face it, there are teams that are out, you know, various nights of the week.
The boat,
You're going to, oh, no again. You know.
You're going to sub that.
That's why we randomly say things like, do you want a cup of tea? Oh, would you like a Kit Kat? And then when we was in Don Styler's, we knew that Don, who owned it, his favourite was a Bacardi and Coke. If you fancy Bacardi and Coke, Dom. And then we got all the tapping. Yeah. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I gave a ghost, a spirit, a cigarette once.
Awesome. Yeah.
We were at a location and we put the K2 meter down in the staircase and there was nothing, and we were having a cigarette, I took a cigarette out and I went to light it, and jokingly I says, you know, if there's anybody here, do you want a cigarette? And immediately the K2 went up to yellow.
Yeah.
Awesome. They wanted a flag.
Well, I said, if you want a cigarette, make that go to yellow again. And straight to yellow again. I said, well, and I ended up putting the cigarette down on the stairs beside the K2 meter. I said, if you're going to say thank you for that cigarette, I'll leave it with you. If you make that box, I call it a box rather than a device, because you know, I'm always the mindset where you could be talking to a spirit that's 200 or 300 years old, so they don't know
what K2 is.
You know, so I'll take the black box and say, I'm going to leave a cigarette beside the black box. You make it go to yellow to say thank you, and it went to yellow again. You know,
I love that.
I left the cigarette there, obviously, you know.
You offered it, yeah.
Really, how it just, as soon as I took the cigarette out, it was as if the spirit was saying, look, you know, can I have a fag?
Yeah.
Have a smoke?
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. We need to get some fags. We don't smoke.
Just, you know, as you said with the Kit Kat episode.
It's the simplest things. Like you said, it's a cigarette, a Kit Kat. The simplest things that people forget, that, like you said, are you male? Are you female? What you doing here? Did you live here? Did you die here?
Yeah.
Do you want a cigarette?
How's your day today?
Yeah.
Been up to much?
Yeah.
Scared anyone lately?
How was work? Just general chit chat with them.
Yeah.
That's it, because at the end of the day, I mean, at the end of the day, I see it as, you know, the spirits, they're hanging about for, you know, whatever reason, and if somebody wants to talk to them, then talk to them.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to, they're just, they were once people, same as when our time comes, we'll be the same as them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have a whale of a time. I'd scare the crap out of everyone just for the fun of it.
You know what I have always said, whoever's gone, Rosie, that didn't happen. I'm coming back to haunt your ass. I don't even know what happened. So I'm coming back to prove to you it happened.
Oh God, you'd be a nightmare.
I would be a nightmare. I'll be everywhere.
It's getting that proof. We'd Haunted. I don't know if you ever watched Haunted State. They're based in Washington. It's a TV show. We had them in a few months back, and the guy that runs it, his girlfriend at the time, they were in their parents' house, and before her dad died, the two of them had a conversation. The dad's like, I'm going to give you a password between you, and when my time comes, I will, she says, I'll try and contact you. So long story short, she contacted them and she says, look, Dad, what's the password? And it came through the spirit box, this word.
Because no one else was going to know the password.
Great idea.
Brilliant.
And she says that the word came through the spirit box, the password. Can you debunk that? How do you explain that one?
Well, no, because nobody would obviously know that password. Oh, I love that.
Good idea.
That is
one of them, a safety one.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
They're on Amazon Prime. It actually shows you season 1. It shows you that where Michael and Angela are sitting in the kitchen and they're talking about it, and then it happens. It doesn't happen on camera. They kind of edited that because it's kind of personal,
Yeah, definitely.
But they're not the kind of show to you get these shows you can tell right away they're just at it.
Yeah.
The other ones that you can tell right away just by talking to them that they're genuine.
Yes. Yeah. You know the people that have the true passion for it, or is it just a game to some people?
Yeah.
And I do believe there is, not being horrible, some people do find it is a game.
There's glory hunters out there, aren't there? That they're just they make stuff up just for the show.
Yeah.
So you can tell the bullshit. Excuse my French, the bullshits from the ones that are really genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're coming up to something like a Ouija board, you need to treat it with respect.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I've got 3 at home.
I don't even like having them in the house.
No,
I put them in the garage. Make sure I don't let the guests wander off with them. I make sure I close them down properly. I don't even go on them. I just watch them do it and then make sure it's closed down properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I done that once at Sherwood Forest, and I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, no doubt, Rosie, you were saying first time you used the board. I think I'd watched too many Hollywood films. On the Ouija.
Like the film The Ouija,
and you look through it and there's an old woman or a nun. It's always a nun, an old woman.
Always a nun. That's me.
There's always somebody standing there, but I feel quite relaxed and peaceful, doing it, and I will do it again. I think ghost shows and that, I do watch a lot of them. Well, a select few I watch, actually, to tell the truth, but I watch them over and over again. Because I always find the more you watch something, the more you'll pick up.
Pick up. I always do, because I'm thinking, how did I miss that? I've watched the whole thing. But you naturally, because you're concentrating on what had happened before, you're trying to piece that puzzle. Yeah. You've forgotten the next puzzle. And definitely have to watch things over and over again.
I've been watching that Ghost of Morgan City. Oh, I love it. This city, all these weird things have been happening there, and they sent out Ben something, I can't remember his name now. I know Sarah Lemos is that one on there, the psychic medium, and then there's the demonologist who is Jeremy Leonard. Yeah, we interviewed him. He was awesome.
Absolutely lovely.
He's had a heart attack recently. He's not very well.
Yeah, so love to you out there.
But he they went through the whole of this city, just going solving all these paranormal cases.
Houses.
And I asked her, he says it's real. She says 100% these cases are real. And they caught something amazing on camera.
Oh, when that figure went across. They were in the kitchen.
Yeah.
They were in the kitchen or the living room.
They were in some old house, some old not a workhouse, but they have the cotton picking fields and things like that. It was one of those colonial houses they were in, and they caught it just walking across the screen, just casually trotting away. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. Ghosts of Morgan City. You've got to watch it.
Yeah, they're on Discovery Plus, aren't they?
Yeah.
The thing happened on the Haunted Hunts on the Pendle series. The last episode sad was Farm.
Yes.
They keep. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Yes.
Danny Moss, isn't it? Haunted Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, we spoke to him. Well, we didn't.
We put them on the 2nd of December. They're coming on.
He's so passionate, isn't he?
You're joining them down there, aren't you? You just.
No, they're coming on the panel. We were meant to meet on Endo earlier on this year with them, but because of stuff that was happening,
Yeah.
but we'll get them on the panel talking about season 4.
Brilliant.
Lovely guy. Yeah, I do. I'm a big fan of Danny.
Yeah.
I told them quite a wee bit, but they left that capture right to the very end of the series at Pendle. When you see I'm presuming it's a woman who walks across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
We're actually doing. It's a guy called Andy Murphy. He's on Saturday. He's Yorkshire Ghost Whisperers, but he lives in Las Vegas now, and so he's come up with an idea that Paranormal In History are going to go up against Charlie and Rocks.
Ooh.
A quiz night on the 3rd of December on a live.
Nice.
All about demonology. And
very nice. Well, we'll give that a watch.
Well, hopefully, I talked to Charlie quite a wee bit because of the project we were doing. I was talking 2 days ago in a video call, and he says, if yous lose, I'm going to rip it right out yous for months.
Fingers crossed you win. You got our support.
So, thank you very much, ladies. So I say to you, we cannot lose this. We need to.
We'll be on speed dial.
I was going to say I'm not an expert. There is no experts in the paranormal, but when it comes to demonology, I hope Charlie and Andy are not watching this, by the way.
Have a chat with Jeremy Leonard. He's a really good demonologist. Yeah, he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if that be counted as cheap. We've got Laura and Jennifer on our team, so we get 2 big guns on our.
You're right then.
I don't know if talking to an outside source would be considered cheating.
Right. They're going head to head.
What if they don't know about it?
Even if you whisper on a lie, people will still hear.
Oh dear. I'm sorry.
They know it all. See no evil.
I'll to that one, see if I can get any info on that with that guy.
All right. What goes on in paranormal history stays in paranormal history.
I'll say to the team, we cannot lose this. It's actually quite lucky the way it works because we'll get a Haunted Hunts on the 2nd, the quiz is on the 3rd. See if it's been around. If the quiz has been the 2nd, if we lost in the 2nd, we'll get ripped to pieces on the live in the 3rd.
Fingers crossed. As I said, you've got our support.
Well, wait, it's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
What do you have to do if you lose? Is there a forfeit?
No, I don't know. Don't say that.
There's got to be a forfeit.
There'll be a forfeit.
No,
go around the castle naked 3 times, or.
No, trust me, you don't want to see that. Don't say that because Andy, as he's in Las Vegas, so he usually watches your lives back. So maybe he's no thought of a forfeit, and him hearing you say that, Sarah, he might be sitting there thinking, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Make it interesting.
Got to be a forfeit.
Bit of humiliation.
Yeah.
It's always good fun.
You got me mind
naked ghost hunt.
Naked in the Highlands, no, no, you don't want to see that, That's it. They've outlawed whaling in Scotland. You really don't want to see me, And I think that's how I get Sam's attention.
That would get attention.
Get your Aggies out.
What did you say?
Get your Aggies out. Doing ghost hunting kills.
I'd love to try on a kill.
Yeah.
See if Andy comes back to me in the next couple of days and says, by the way, mate, I've got a wee idea for a forfeit, then I know whose door to chat.
We getting blocked.
Gone. Sam's all fired up about it. She's all happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's off to the rut.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's a bit of fun, we lose. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Fun, and you need
to have laughter and fun.
Aye, exactly. You need that bit of fun, and you still take the paranormal serious. You still treat it with respect, but you need to learn, where the series stops and the fun comes in, or you try and blend the two of them together.
Got a good balance.
And we're still keeping it kind of real, awesome view on things. Thanks, Noel. And that's why I say there's too many people out there that are attention seekers and they're serious because you think it's going to get more views or subs or, whatever.
And even when it comes to evidence, even if someone tries to debunk it, I mean, as long as you're honest and you felt that was true at the time and what you've gathered is honest, I don't think there's anything wrong with putting that out there.
No, definitely not.
And I certainly wouldn't get upset if I put something out there and someone tried to debunk it or, snipped it. But I'm thinking if you want to watch it, you want to look at it, then fine. That's your prerogative. If you choose not to believe it, then just roll off. Then, love. Don't look at it.
Exactly. I mean, this series that we're putting up in Patreon, episode 1's already up. We've got a lot of evidence on it, and if people, as you say, Sarah, people want to watch it, go and watch it. If they want to try and debunk it, be my guest. I'd rather that they did try and debunk it.
Yes, yeah.
Because that will make, it's like with our guests, we, especially with the famous cat rules, and obviously when they start going off, and we've had guys on the floor, like face to face with the cat ball, like doing a press up, basically blowing it, trying to move it to set it off. Yeah. And then they're like, and now the other one's going, and now the other, and now this one's back going.
The door slammed shut. Is the window open? Fine, have a look. See if that window's open.
We're all for debunking, and when it's unexplainable, that's when we get excited.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yes.
We took a photograph of months and months ago. It was taken in Edinburgh, and I was taken at Greyfriars, and it looked like, the best way to describe it was going to sound nuts, but the best was a kind of wizard-like figure up against the wall of the church. Up in a group that were in at the time, and excuse me, all we said was, look, we took this photograph at Greyfriars, we can't explain it, but it looks like an old man. So I thought, this guy took the photograph and ripped it apart, and he came back and he says, listen, bud, he says, that's a plant pot. And we were happy.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's the way the light's shining, the angle you took it at, and stuff. It was just a combination of the way we took the photograph. It says, broke it down, and there's your photograph. And it was a plant pot.
And that's just it, the simplest thing of a plant pot. And it's like you said, the way you took it, the angle, the light. Yeah. It's obviously made it look like something, but perfect. It's been debunked. And then you go on.
You get your neggy peggies out there, though, don't you? Yeah. Don't want to bang on about, it's a load of rubbish, blah, blah, blah. But until you've actually experienced it for yourself, then you can't, I don't think you should really ever stay on it, really.
Yeah, I think especially for like something like footage, if you're capturing footage, you know what went on there. Yeah. Especially like the noises, the footsteps, the voices. Yeah. Some people, it's hard for people to have an opinion. It's great to have an opinion. I love that. Yeah. But if the person's posting it, they were there.
Blasting you.
If you were there, so you know what went on. So, you keep down in heart what happened.
Yeah, as long as you're honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I'll give anybody our footage and say, look, take it and debunk it. If you and come back to us and tell me what you found or what you've heard or you've not heard, and then we sit down and look at it again. And also I think if you do it that way, at least lets people see that you're not getting anything to hide.
No,
You
definitely not. No, I love obviously being genuine. I love equipment going off, but obviously like what we do, we're volunteer workers, and we obviously it's our experience too. When stuff happens and the guests are so happy that this has happened and that's happened, it's a buzz for us.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I also get absolutely terrified. So when I'm scared and then they get scared, don't come to me for any comfort. Why do you think I'm stood by the door? Because I'm the first one out of here when she goes down to see you. And I'm meant to be the paranormal investigator, and I'm the most scaredest one there.
Yeah.
Maybe thinking the wrong line of work then maybe.
No, I'll go back in there after once I've calmed down.
Once the lights are on.
I have balls of steel.
Yes,
during the day in the summer when it's sunny, I don't mind. You know what I mean? But it's just girls say it's the experience of doing it.
Yeah.
It's another.
Being scared, being excited.
Yeah.
Gail, she's in our team. Gail joined us. We met Gail on holiday, her husband, her family, back in July, and it was just a sheer chance. The last day of the holiday, we were going to Pendle for 4 days after it, straight from one place to another, and it was just a sheer chance. We said, we're going to Pendle, and so she's in a paranormal. So she joined the team, but she'd always watched, various ghost shows on TV, and so this is her kind of take on the paranormal. This is how and then she came out with us on an investigation. And, there were noises, with footsteps, with various things happen. And she says it's totally different.
Wow.
You cannot beat the actual being there. Even if you're a skeptic, a non-believer, whatever people want to call yourself, go along. You know yourself, girls, you can't actually beat standing there and hearing that noise, and if somebody comes up with us and they hear a noise, they're perfectly welcome to go off hunting. See if we can find where it. So when you go, there's a torch. Go see if you can find where the noise came from.
Yeah, when something touches you or plays with your hair, and explain that then.
Yes.
Or whispers in your ear.
Yep.
I
love a good hair pull.
I think that's what makes it more real as well. And I think this day and age, after everything we've been through in the last year and a half, 2 years, people are looking for real.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, because everybody's been stuck at home watching all these ghost shows, no disrespect. Some of them, as we said earlier on, it's dramatization and so people are maybe kind of fed up with that now, and they're looking just to see normal, everyday people go ghost hunting, seeing what happens, and see. I mean, things happen. You know yourself, things happen in investigation that aren't planned. We were talking about this last night, and sometimes that's the best ones.
Yeah.
Things happen, funny things happen. Somebody, fart on camera, stuff like that. Things, and that's just an example. Basically.
Yeah, no.
And it's the locations as well. When you get to go to these historic things, when you're thinking, I've stood like you were in Shepton.
I went to Shepton Mallet a few weeks, about a month or so ago.
We got it, and we're
there in February next year, and I'm walking through Shepton Mallet, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm in the C wing now. They don't know what cell they were, but they believe they were in the C wing, and I'm thinking, I'm walking where Ronnie and Reggie Cray was.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was such an excitement for me. I was just buzzing. Yeah. My partner's just like, there we go now. And I'm like,
Queen Victoria's been there, and then they've got that great big leather smoking room.
Yeah.
And it's all kitted out with all the Victorian crystalware and all the pottery and all the pictures and oil paintings, and then you're looking around this place and thinking, wow,
who's touched these walls?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Who sat on this toilet?
Yeah.
Exactly. I get that. I'm a we're major Tudor fans. I love the whole Henry VIII era, and I've been to Hampton Court quite a few times. And the first time I went, it was, it's almost tears, because you're thinking, I'm standing where Henry VIII was. And you're in the Great Gallery where Catherine Howard broke free for her guards to try and get to Henry, who was in the chat. And you're like, I'm standing in the same passageway that Catherine Howard ran down.
Yeah.
It's hard to take in. Even the entrance at the Hampton Court Palace, you're standing at the archway and you're thinking, this is where Henry VIII's boat would have come in, whatever, or his carriage or horse would have come through this entrance. And girls, you can't buy that. That kind of experience you can't get anywhere. And there's nothing on this earth that can duplicate that.
Your name says it all, Scott. Paranormal in History.
Absolutely.
Goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
They do. I think that's why we've been kind of so successful the last kind of year, because we do. Without history, you don't have paranormal. Without paranormal, you can't. You can't have one without the other. And we've got a great passion for both of them. And that's what kind of. It was Simon Entwistle, who Pendo actually says usually the only channel that combines it. Well, that's true. No, we don't know. He said, but you found the kind of perfect balance with history and the paranormal. You just can't beat it. Do you know what I mean? But we need to wind it up, dear girls. We're only on for 90 minutes. We're nearly out of time.
We could chat all night, can we? I still haven't got to ask you about Alistair Crawley, whether or not you checked out his house in Loch Ness yet.
I forgot. No.
He's not going anywhere.
No, he's not going anywhere.
I'll hang on to you after we come off the live. Don't worry, I'm not going to kick his away just yet. You know what I mean?
You're a bonny wee lass. Bonny wee lad.
Don't disappear, ladies. Just sit right where you are. So, thanks very much to Rosie and Sarah from Portrait to Paranormal for coming back to see us. We hope you enjoy. As I said earlier on, they are totally nuts, but in a good way. But they still take their business serious, which is a nice balance, a nice blend. And thanks everybody who came into the chat for all your comments. And we hope you enjoyed our wee hour and a half with us. We're back in our own channel on Saturday with Andy Murphy. And so hopefully you'll join us in. But I've seen ripples in the water, Tom. It might have been a big salmon. We don't know. It might have been a big fish.
Giant ass salmon.
A big salmon. So yeah, thanks very much for coming in, folks. And we'll talk to you very soon. So
thank you, everyone.
take care. Bye. Bye.